All righty. Okay, and hello and welcome to the Best of Missouri Hands Workshop Roundtable Discussion. What are your challenges in 2022 and how can Best of Missouri Hands help? I'm Allison Norfleet-Bringer, and helping out today will be Kim Carr, Wanda Tyner, and Patty Minix. A little housekeeping. In our workshop today, we would like everyone to please stay muted. If you have any questions or issues, you can use the chat feature, or you can also take your chat button on your bottom of your taskbar and make sure to get some pen and paper handy if you like to as well. If you do want to kind of speak, just go ahead. You can raise your hand, actually raise it so we can see it, or you can actually use that raise hand chat feature at the bottom of your taskbar as well. So then we can hear your questions and come up with some solutions for you as well, hopefully, or at least know things that we can do to start helping everything out. Today, our leader for this workshop will be for the roundhouse table discussion will be Best of Missouri Hands member Patty Minix. Patty, can you take it away?
Sure. Well, thanks so much for being here this morning. Our idea is just to kind of open up the floor and have a discussion about any kind of challenges or things that you're finding in your studio as you're creating your artwork, moving forward in this new normal, this new climate of, how we sell out art, how we make art. So we're here as the Best of Missouri Hands. We want to offer any kind of assistance. So we figured this would be a great opportunity to just start discussions of any challenges you might be facing already in the new year. So I am happy to open it up if anyone has any specific challenges they want to get started discussing. As the organization, we have been trying to, over the past couple of years, offer a lot more things online. So using this Zoom option has really been fantastic. We've been able to reach members across the whole state that have been able to participate in different workshops. We've had a lot of our members offer different programs with either instructional videos or just helping us get more comfortable on social media. So now moving forward as the board, I am president of our organization right now, and we'd like to know what our members want to see. We want to best offer them services that promote the arts across Missouri.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi. We have an art gallery in Cape Girardeau, Missouri called the Painted Wren Art Gallery. And we have completed a large mural using the hands of 16,116 people across the state of Missouri. Completed a large mural using their hands by the direction of Barb and myself. And this mural is going up in Jefferson City in the Truman Building as we speak. They're putting a framework up, and then they're going to put the 15 panels that we had completed as we traveled around. They're putting them all together. It'll be a 12 feet by 16 feet mural. And I'm telling you this so that you kind of have an idea about the problem really that I want addressed is how to get people, media, so forth, to respond to what we've done. How can we do this? We've created this massive 12 feet by 30 feet mural that is historic in the art world in Missouri, if not the United States. And
we make phone calls and people don't call us back, and we don't understand why.
So what type of different outlets have you already reached out to? I mean, I would think like news stations. Of course, we will be happy to support and promote. I know Kim has done through the process of getting the mural completed. I know Kim has done some advertising on our the Facebook pages. But at this point, who have you been reaching out to?
Well, it's mainly the local media. I hate to diss them, but they covered bits and pieces in the local newspaper. But as this project is coming to a close, it's like our, the
old
response from
news
them,
and-
it's old news, and we've already covered that, and we're on to the other stuff, and they don't understand that the culmination of this whole project is huge, and there'd be a sense of pride that the people see. I want the people who painted on this, the 16,000 plus people, to know that it is finished, and to know that they can go see it, and to know these things. And locally, the people don't seem to know. We ask people on the street or so forth, and they don't know anything about it. And the news media claims they've already covered it because they gave an 8-second spot on TV, twice in the last 2.5 years. It seems unfair to the people who painted.
Have you reached out to the Missouri Art Council?
Missouri Arts Council did not fund this, and so I suppose they probably don't think it's theirs.
But I'm just
But
curious.
I think they would I still think they would add it to their newsletter and put it on their social media and things just like Best of Missouri Hands would be happy to do. They love to just talk about what's going on in the art in Missouri. What's the name of the lady who does the podcast about arts in Missouri? She's out of Columbia.
Donna Moxon. That would be another one too. Yeah, she used to be with the Columbia Art Council or Art. And the Art in the Park. She was real active, but I know she has a podcast now. So Donna Moxon out of Columbia. She might be a good resource to just reach out and make some connections.
Or she might be even willing to interview you for her podcast, which is just another avenue for getting it out there.
Did you spell her name?
I'm sorry?
Did you spell her last name?
Yeah, Moxon.
Okay.
Another option too, possibly, would be to reach out to the magazine Missouri Life. I know we've done some work with them, just, doing advertising with Best of Missouri Hands, and they're very supportive of, the arts across the state. I believe Danita Wood is a contact person for Missouri Life. But if you just look them up online, I'm sure you can find some contact info, but they might even, that might be something that you propose an article to feature in the Missouri Life magazine about your mural.
Yeah, I think they did. I think a couple years ago, when we were involved in it,
We were starting.
I think they covered a little bit about it, but it needs a follow-up. This kind of a project that takes years to get finished needs follow-up so that the general public can keep up with it too. Otherwise, it's just another something that's forgotten.
And now I am curious. Oh, sorry, Allison. I'll come to you next, but let me just throw this out. I am curious, Aaron and Barb, how I remember speaking with you when the project was just beginning. How did this whole pandemic and just kind of the change affect this project for you?
We don't want to get it, have this be the only subject we cover, but
from March of 2019 on, everything, or no, 2020, sorry, where it was canceled, and we had one event in October that year, and then in 2021 we started calling local schools And we had a few more
Mm.
finish it up. The schools helped us get it finished.
Yeah, we had over 30 schools we went to, and mostly those were middle schools and sometimes the small schools that was K through 12. And that was what really saved this project and got it done on time, because we had a deadline for the celebration at the Capitol. And,
Yeah.
so
Allison, did you have a question?
I have a question, and I know Lois has raised her hands a couple of times as well. She has something to ask. I'm curious, when you were speaking of like artists doing it, were all of the artists more towards like groups of people or things like that? Or were there any artists that have some sort of notoriety as well that have also brought to the mural? Because going to them, having them also,
Yes.
speak on your part also within their social media, maybe they might have connections within their areas. And also, how far did you travel? Because I know you're speaking of the one areas that you're speaking of. Did you come to some of the areas like in the St. Louis area? Because I'm thinking of a couple of places here where they would definitely cover it. But I was just curious, if you have some folks up here, maybe then in turn that might have, I could, because I'm thinking Pat Evely with the St. Louis Dispatch, the organization who did, they did a whole bunch of different things on different artists here as well. So there's a couple within the area, this area, and like you said, Missouri Life, the Missouri Art Council there. I would think a lot of them would, but to reach out to those artists who have a namesake already and have them help piggyback onto there, that would help also, bring it through.
to answer your first,
Have you contacted the schools that you worked with?
Right now.
the callback issue is with the schools also. They're busy, and the callback issue is certainly there, that it goes weeks without a callback after we try to explain to them what we have done. And but anyway, to answer some of those questions, people who painted on this were people from the state of Missouri. Anybody, everybody, all walks of life. Not necessarily artists. And we told people that you don't have to be an artist. We don't want you to be an artist. We want you to be any walk of life possible to paint on it. So we didn't really go to the art community directly with this, because we wanted this to be from the people of the state of Missouri. This is a huge gift. We gifted this big mural to the state of Missouri.
And we did travel outside of our area. We went to Joplin, we went to Jefferson City a couple times, West Plains, St. Genevieve, Trenton.
We were scheduled to go to a lot of other places when COVID came in 2020. It kept us from going to places like Hannibal and Warrensburg, and just, we would schedule citywide events. If they put on a 4th of July celebration or a fall festival or a spring fling or what, we tried to go to those where there were a lot of people, and it worked. But we, I forget your name. We didn't go to so many art community events necessarily for this, because most would have been too small anyway to get all these people to paint to accomplish the feat. So it makes it difficult. I know we're on an outside track to begin with this, but now to get it noticed.
Oh, Lois?
Yes, my friend Connie Bachman was the director of Eureka Arts Council years ago. And she actually wrote the press releases and submitted the press releases to the different newspapers and the TV stations. And then she actually wrote the articles explaining what was going on and provided photographs for them. And it was a lot of work on her part. But back when she was director, the Eureka Arts Council was very within the community. It was very noticed. And what she did was great. So you might want to try some press releases. You can email those very easily once you find out who to send them to. And you can email, do the press releases to the TV stations too. And then once you have one, all you have to do is find the links to send it to. And that's what I had to say.
Thank you. Yes, Carol?
I have a question. Have you chronicled any of this in video? And because one of the best things you can do to back up your gift to Missouri is to put together a video of sorts. And like you could sit and talk about all of the nuances of everything you've done and do this and capture it on a cell phone. And then include all the pictures and things you have taken up and put it together and put it on YouTube, and that it can be shared everywhere. Sometimes it takes, in a modern technological age, it takes something snazzy to capture somebody's eyeball to pick it up and go. So I think and you put it together, it'll be there forever. So, and that video can go back to the schools you went to. It could go in, you can recycle and go retrace all of the road trips you've made with this video. And I think it would be the best side piece you could have to go with it. Because you could tell the entire story where if somebody gets on the phone to interview, all you could do is give them dates, times, but you can give them all the gut that you just gave us. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I hope those suggestions kind of can help you get started and moving forward. We're here. So, I mean, feel free to reach out to us if there's anything more we can do, but it's a great project, and we're happy to be, help you support it as best as we can.
Yeah, and we don't want to be remiss in leaving out Tammy Albert. Tammy also, and she is making puzzles of this mural. She's selling them. We will be selling them, and it's not a large conglomerate or corporation or whatever doing this. It's just a couple of people here, Barb and myself, we grew up on different farms, and we live in rural Southeast Missouri. And so we're not very savvy when it comes to marketing and all that involves YouTube and stuff. It's like, I know it's there, but I'm not sure about how to get it all done. Fortunately.
Allison?
This might be a slightly out of the box idea, but that there are so many members, and that a lot of us have learned different things, that maybe where you're totally a lot stronger in this area, and maybe somebody within our organization is maybe more tech savvy, or maybe they like to do video type things, or maybe this might be a passion project that would be helpful, and we work as a collaboration as a community. Can we put something like, on our Best of Missouri Hands member only, saying, hey, there's a wonderful, like you could put out there, hey, we have got this wonderful thing going on here. We really want to reach outside of our area and to reach our communities and to possibly reach US. Are there people who are more savvy in this area or that area, who would like to be a part of our community to pull this together and bring it out? Then that's when you're like, as a community, we come together to help bring to light what you guys are doing, which sounds exciting.
Well, and that's a great suggestion too, because, using that members only Facebook group, that, there's a lot of people that are on there, and it is, you throw the idea out and you never know what kind of connections you can make that route. So that's a great suggestion, Allison. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else have a challenge for 2022 they want to talk about or put out on the table, or any ideas you'd like to see Best of Missouri Hands do for you moving forward? Well, I'll go ahead and throw an idea out. One of the things we've started discussing within our board meetings is possibly making connections with artists and doing some kind of studio hop, or having artists, kind of showcase their workspace, their studios. It's just something I kind of wanted to throw out. I thought it would be neat to just, start talking about it. And, either if it's something we can do as like a studio tour of, regionally the artists across Missouri, or if people wanted to do their own videos and share them. I mean, the Best of Missouri Hands does have a YouTube station, so, it would be a great place to put, just showcasing. I mean, that's one of my favorite things. I absolutely love seeing people's studios and their workspaces and where they create. So I know that's something I'm, thinking about and would love to see more of all of our members' workspaces. Yes, Kim.
Sorry I was late. But that's something right there, Patty, that we could set up an interview workshop day or whatever with Barb and Aaron, and just do a question and answer type thing, about their project and everything, and they could show, images or whatever of what they've done from the beginning and stuff. And and then that would be recorded and we could put that up on our YouTube channel. So that's a perfect example, because I really don't think we can start like just say someone creates a video, of their work and stuff like that, and then us put it up on the Best Missouri Hands YouTube. What I'd rather see is us do an hour workshop or interview or something with them where we're asking them questions and they're showing us their artwork and stuff like that, and we can record it and put it on our YouTube. And that, because in that way, Allison, she does a great job of creating postcards and everything, and that way we keep it cohesive to what we've been doing, and kind of the same format and stuff like that. So, but that would, Barb and Aaron would be a good one to.
I agree. And if we added Tammy
do
to
that.
their talk, she could talk about how she's turned that into a puzzle, which would just be another piece of interest to that same hour.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Or
And then
I love
Tammy,
that
talk
idea.
about- Aaron
Yeah.
Aaron and Tammy can talk about how people can help with the project by buying the puzzle or coming out to see it, or what all can we do as artists from around Missouri to help with the project.
I could see, if I've got a minute or just a second, I could see that happening at the Truman Building after the mural is on the wall. So,
Okay.
you see it in real time, not just a little, we have a few little replicas that I could hold up and show like this, but the big mural on the wall is more exciting by a long shot.
When will it be up? When do they have a date?
Yes, we are in contact pretty much constantly. I mean, every 2 weeks or so with Sherry Kemp, the director of the Truman Building. And Sherry is telling us that the framework to put it up is being attached to the wall. And they're trying to put it up in such a fashion that it can be taken down piece by piece. There's 15 4 feet by 6 feet pieces involved. And if it need be, I don't know what the need would be, but if need be in the future, it needs to come down and be stored or be shipped or something, they could do that. So they're building the framework now. They should have it up on the wall by the end of March or the first part of April.
Okay.
So if you want to go find taking place and you're in the area, I would say just walk into the Truman Building between now and then and see what they're doing. Because I'm sure a lot of people are asking questions there. We haven't gone up to watch the framework being put up, but probably people are asking, what are you doing with the wall? You know, so that would be a good place, I think, to have a video though done.
That's the nice thing about Zoom. We can do a video workshop from anywhere. So you guys could be at the Truman Building, and Tammy could be at her home, and we're all at our homes and stuff, and be able to set up a a workshop interview with you guys about the mural project. And so yeah, you give us when you know for sure and stuff, let us know, and we can get something scheduled, something on the books. So we have I think most of our months we've already got something scheduled in, but we can always do a second workshop. I mean, that's the beauty of this Zoom. We've got the flexibility. So
Sounds great.
Allison.
I was just curious. I know I was just thinking about some of the things. Have everybody started either approaching different shows? Have you guys been applying to shows or applying to exhibitions? And how's that going for everybody? Also, I am curious about stores and shops and galleries. How many people are beginning to wanting to, possibly, if they're not going shows, maybe venture that way? And what some of the things that you're running into, or have any of the workshops or things that we've already done been beneficial, or is there something else we should be covering? That's my question.
How many people are here?
Ooh, 1, 2,
9.
9. Around 9.
I
Well,
just,
Garnetta, she might. Oh. Go ahead, Carol.
oh no, I'm sorry. I just had my first art show this past weekend, and everybody was anxious, and it was pretty well attended. We had like 65 degrees and sun on Saturday, so it wasn't the best weather for an indoor show, but it was our third tryout because she had to have canceled it twice during COVID. And but the customers and the people attending were very anxious and very interested in techniques, and they were going booth to booth, talking and engaging with the artists about their techniques and how they do. And I thought that was a very good sign. So
Good. It's good that people are getting out there and stuff. So I think Garnetta probably has a unique perspective in the fact that, for one, she's a juried Best Missouri Hands photographer and painter, and I think another medium, but she also owns Art Impressions Gallery. Oh, 4, you're juried 4? Okay, so she's definitely well-rounded, and she owns a gallery, the Art Impressions, up in Sedalia, Missouri. So, she's right there at the heartbeat of knowing, how's traffic going, are people getting back out into the galleries now? Do you find that you're struggling to find artists, or you've had a good retention, you've kept the artists that you've got? Or, I think she could probably give us a little insight about the galleries.
Are you asking for something now? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
I ran off and left my camcorder, my video thing I usually use at the house. So I'm
Oh,
Yep, and I think you froze.
she froze. Yeah.
I put her on the spot and she froze.
Aaron, you guys own a gallery, didn't you say? Aaron, didn't you say you own a gallery?
Yeah, they own a gallery.
Cape Girardeau is well, I think it's supposed to be bigger than it really is, but there's not it's a good art community, but it's not a great art community. We have had a problem with COVID. When COVID came, very few people would come through the door. It was almost as if don't go in there because that's a small shop, a small place, and we really don't need artwork right now. You know, we're serious about keeping our health intact, and so it really did hurt us a lot for more than a year, and so now it's a little better. Everybody is not wearing masks when they come in now. They feel a little safer about getting out, and we don't sell an enormous amount of artwork from the gallery to begin with, but it's picking up some now. You know, it's okay. So I can't give a great report. It's just I don't know.
And we do have other artists in the gallery besides Aaron's work and what we do together.
Okay, Garnetta, I think you're back now. Do you want
Okay,
to?
yeah, I had lost part of what you all were asking. So because I was talking to Angel Brain, one of our members on Facebook. So sorry about that. Of course, COVID affects the arts tremendously. It's one of the first things that people think they can do without. So, you know, it's been difficult for the entire time. We switched to sidewalk pickup, you know, during the main part of COVID and stuff, which helped. You know, we did some, you know, got some grants for my retaining my employee, things like that. I did get some EIDL loans, which was a lifesaver. Was looking forward to, in Pettis County, Missouri, let me tell you what, our COVID rates are horrid. It's just been a nightmare here. I will continue for some time myself to wear masks, because if somebody comes through my front door, whether they have been vaccinated, have not, no matter what they believe, I want everybody to feel comfortable, and they're all very pleasant about that. Was looking forward this year to tourism picking up, which, you know, is a big thing for me where I'm located. I'm on the Katy Trail. I'm right across the street from the historic Hotel Bothwell downtown Sedalia and different things. So I'm looking forward to an increase in tourism, as long as the gas prices doesn't put a stop to that. So it's just been one roller coaster ride after another, but here I am, and I've got at least 35 artists, and many of them are juried Best of Missouri Hands artists. And I don't know what else you guys asked. Sorry.
Well, thanks so
No,
much
I
for
was
that
just
insight.
kind of wanting to get, yeah, I was just kind of wanting to get your insight as to like how the galleries are doing and stuff, and you know, over the past year or two. And that's, Aaron reported like on their gallery, the Painted Wren down in Cape, and I know you are in a hotbed of COVID. We've lost, I think, 2 Best Missouri Hand members
Yeah, well,
from
one
the
of them was,
Sedalia area.
yeah, one of them was Cindy Morris, and you know, I've been in business 22 years as a gallery, believe it or not, in Sedalia, Missouri, which is I'm very proud to say. And I've got probably 7 or 8 of my artists that have been with me for 22 years. And one of them was Cynthia Morris, and she was a fabulous colored pencil artist, and one of my very good friends, and I'm going to just cry here. But we lost her on Christmas Day to COVID. So it's been tough.
Yeah, it's been very hard. And I know Linda, I think Schwimmer.
Yep, that's
you know,
another
she
one of our
lived in
artists here in town.
Sedalia.
Yep.
She was yeah, that's rough. You guys have been hit hard up there and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was wondering, since you're in Sedalia, and one of my annual things is to try to go to the state fair. Does that help you guys any, or does it hurt you? I mean,
It actually hurts. Yeah, it actually hurts my business.
Okay.
People that come in from all over the state to the fair. They get to the fairgrounds, they stay on the fairgrounds. The local
Yeah.
people, a lot of them, because of the increase in traffic, they do not want to get out about 10 days or 11 days that we have the fair. So it gets very, very slow here. I say that one of my biggest months though ever happened to be during the fair. I sold a really nice bronze. But
good.
overall, it hurts my business.
Okay, yeah.
Allison?
Oh, okay.
Allison?
I just curious because Garnetta, because I'm represented by, well, geez, it is around 5, I want to say 5 or 6, but 5 different galleries. And some are in different areas and some are right here. But what I'm curious about is what, as an artist, and this is something that I guess I want to start advocating for, because I don't think artists give our gallery owners sometimes the due they deserve. What can we as artists do to benefit you as the gallery owner or as the gallery more? Because I've worked on things I work on social media for a couple of the galleries I'm a part of. And sometimes it's like, I have to admit, it's like pulling teeth trying to get new images, new this or info, or if they want, some things that I think would help. So I just curious, from a gallery owner, what can we do as artists? Because you guys are out there, and when we're not at a show, you're selling for us. That's one of our options of us bringing income into. So I just feel like we sometimes need to give a lot of love. So what can we do better? I'd be just curious.
Well, it's always nice. I am one of those people, I sell to people when I have a story to tell. I like to know as much about my artist as I can. Every artist, and some of them are bashful about that, but there's things that drive them. There's things that people find extremely interesting. If I can tell them one little tidbit about an artist, it'll make that sale, because then it's somebody that they know, it's from their state. I'm very proud that everything in my gallery is Missouri. So if I can give them a story or two, so that's really important. It's like, send me these stories, tell me, even if you think it's not important, it is. If people can pick something up and hold it, that makes it very, they'll go home with it. But I really have the hardest time. Some artists, they're so right-brained, they don't want to they stay away from that written word, unlike Kim Carr. But most of them, it's very hard to get that information. So it's like when they first come and visit with me, I may ask all kinds of things. One time, and I haven't used this yet because I haven't had a chance, but I sent out some information to everybody and asked them just for silly, stupid things, go on my website and fill this out. And I got some great things back. Some of them, it's like they just clammed up. But, if I can just get all kinds of little tidbits that I can put a feeling, give people an idea who they are. Some stories are fun, some stories are heart-wrenching, just something where I can tell people what this artist is about and that they are their friends and their neighbors here in this state. Somebody just came in. I'll be right back.
While she's gone, are there any other challenges from an artist perspective that you want to talk about?
Getting the picture clarified and maybe a more.
Oh, she left her mic on.
Oh,
I don't know if we can mute that from our end. Can you guys mute that? I don't know.
yep, I just muted her.
Thank you. Lois or Carol? Do you ladies have something?
I had an interesting thing happen this week. In fact, it was just yesterday. I was telling Allison, my sisters are getting their hair done this weekend. That's because we're going to the Hummel convention. They're really big into Hummels, which not me at all. But I just like hanging out with my sisters, and it's going to be in O'Fallon, Illinois. They're both in they're both from Maryland. So they're driving out. So this is our together time. And I got the information about the schedule yesterday. And it had on the schedule that there was going to be a swap and sell. And it was like, a swap and sell. I wonder if I could swap some of my jewelry for some things my sisters might want, or even sell my jewelry. So I dashed off a quick email to the person in charge, and she wrote back and she said, yes, we'd love to have jewelry, something else beside Hummels. So I've got 2 tables of my jewelry scheduled. And it's like, well,
Good.
if you ask, you don't find out any information. So
All right.
That's
I'm-
really neat.
Hey,
Make sure you have cards with you too, so you can really be getting your name out there.
yeah.
What a great connection to make. Good job, Lois.
Thank you.
Can-
It was fun.
Can I ask you a question, Lois?
Sure.
Can I ask you a question? What's a Hummel? I live out in the country. I don't know what a Hummel is.
Oh, that's funny. My mom
Is
is
it
a
rock?
collector.
It's an old little figurine. Some of them are really big,
Oh, okay.
really little figurines. If you wait, I'll go get some out of the closet. I have never bought a Hummel.
Okay.
They
But
can
my-
be very expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, they used to be very expensive.
Yeah.
It was when my grandmothers they had a little bit of money. They would buy a Hummel thinking that it would increase in value, and then it would be
Okay.
a very nice collection to sell. I'll go get one.
Yeah, they're out
Okay.
of like Germany. I mean, I think they're porcelain
Porcelain.
figurines. But my grandmother
Okay.
was from Germany, so that was always my grandmother's gift to my mom. So my mom ended up having a Hummel collection. So it was funny to hear that. Well, that's a neat example.
Carol,
though,
did you
of-
have a question?
Yeah, I thought Carol
Yeah.
did.
These-
There we go.
That's a humble.
Oh, okay.
this is the
All
Hummel.
right. I know those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't collect them. They just end up in my china closet because
They just find their way to your home.
I buy them.
Too funny. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Carol. Yep.
I was just going to follow up with a very similar thread that Lois did, because a number of years ago, I ended up with my camera going through this big old building by chance from a friend. It turned out to be an old Studebaker plant, and it turned out that just a few weeks later, they were going to have an international convention. So I ended up showing up with all my non-Studebaker car stuff that the guys had to remind me were not Studebakers and whatnot. So now after COVID, the international convention is coming back. So I decided to go back in for their, to set up tables and stuff, but I'm going to take my focus for the ladies visiting and miscellaneous as opposed to maybe just the car stuff. So yeah, so sometimes think outside the box, because people who do festivals and artisan shows and stuff, you come in from the side door, and all of a sudden you bring in something totally different than the people selling all the mainstream kind of stuff. Yeah. So but see, I live out, Kim knows I live and outside the box all the time. So.
Oh, I love those.
And I'm glad you do.
I love those stories. It gives us some ideas of, instead of just waiting for the next art fair or whatever, to think about things we're doing anyway and are of interest to us that might lead into some opportunity that, you know, if you do it right, can be just a good opportunity without a lot of expense and time.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, the neighborhood that I live in, every summer they put on a big garage sale. So like one day out of the summer, there's a garage sale through the whole neighborhood. Well, we've taken that opportunity to do studio clean out. So I'll just put like an art for sale sign on my mailbox. We actually brought the wheel out and Roy was doing wheel demos in the driveway. And I just pulled out, I kind of kept the newer stuff that have higher price tags kind of like in the garage, but set up really nice display shelves, set up tables and stuff on the driveway, and pretty much did a discount rate of just some pottery we wanted to get rid of, and did like a great sale. And it cost us nothing. It was in our front yard. We bought a couple boxes of donuts that we were giving out donuts to people early in the morning. And trying to think about that, changing up, where can you sell art that might not be your norm, but you might tap into. I gave out tons of cards, and I still see people in the neighborhood that are like, oh, hi, that's the artist. So you never know.
So Patty, how much did you have to discount? I had this perception of garage sales as they want to buy it for a nickel or a quarter.
Oh, I had a few of those people. Like there were definitely a few, I think we put like, the pottery that I was selling would, maybe had like a $5 to $20 price. It was just like some smaller bowls, just some different stuff that had been around. And then I also kept some of, like our nice pottery with their $40, $50, $60 price tags as well. And we did end up selling some of those. But of course I had, there were a few people that, would pull up like right at the end of the driveway and get out. And, I had some woman be like, oh, they're selling art, and like, I'm like, oh, God forbid. And I had someone try and buy, a $2 little bowl for a quarter, and I'm like, no, it's just, but, I specifically put the art for sale sign out so that it wasn't, even though everyone was in the garage sale mentality, we did a couple, I think we ended up making a couple $100 just from opening the garage door and setting up. So
I was going to ask a little question, because I think what you were saying, Patty, makes me think, and then one of that was automatically what started crossing my mind for us who are trying to do the art fairs and things. They have this perception that, you're in this art fair, you're at this level. And then I hear someone say, I did a farmer's market and it was really cool. And I'm wondering, is anybody else going with that angst of like, do we just bring certain type of things to that type of event, or should we even be doing them? Or does it make someone who sees us there says, oh, well, now she's trying to do this show? How do you juggle that? Or you just do it all and say, hey, it's all about bringing the art out there? Just curious how you guys, I know, Kim, you've done all type of different things. How do you guys feel on that area? Because I've had people ask me about farmers markets, but then, then it comes down to like, oh, St. Louis Art Fair. It's like, what do you, it's this all over the place. So I'm curious.
Well, yeah, Kim, you can speak from that, going from farmers markets to the St. Louis Art Fair.
Yeah. For one, I don't care what someone else thinks. Go do it and you enjoy. Now, would I bring your fancy, collage boxes that sell for $500 to the farmer's market? Probably not. You could, but some farmer markets can be a great outlet for artists and stuff. But don't ever care about what someone else thinks. Oh, well, she showed at St. Louis Art Fair and now she's at this farmer's market. Who gives a rat's butt? You go do what you want, but you tailor it towards the show. If you're doing the farmer's market, like I said, you're not, if I did the farmer's market, I probably wouldn't be bringing all my big, large canvases. I might bring one to showcase, but I'd be working on selling, my prints and my note cards and stuff. Same at St. Louis Art Fair. I'm not bringing my note cards. For one, they wouldn't let me, but you tailor your booth to that specific show or event. I mean, but don't ever let someone, if they're thumbing their nose, that's their problem. It's not yours.
Very true.
Thank you.
Okay, well, our hour's starting to wind down here. Any other concerns or challenges anyone wanted to bring up before we kind of bring this roundtable to a close today? Well, we sure
Well,
appreciate.
I guess I could.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, I could throw one out there. I am getting ready to publish my first book. I've been in a couple books I've written and stuff like that, but like as a chapter, thank you. That was published by someone else and everything. But I ran into a snag because I had someone that was going to illustrate the book and stuff. And, hindsight is 40/40 or whatever, 20/20, whatever it is. You should get all the details ironed out before you start moving ahead and everything. So I find myself at this point now where I'm trying to either digitize my artwork or find another illustrator. I'm going towards the route of trying to digitize it because, for the next book or what are you saying, Carol? Saying yes? Okay. Because that way, if I have future books that I want to do in this style, it'd be nice to have consistent artwork because, you
Yes, and
you
it's
just don't
all
know
you.
with an illustrator.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
all you, Kim. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay. Well, see, and originally, yeah, that's nice, Darren. I know you guys
Wow,
have put out a lot of books.
very
Yeah.
cool.
We should have it here and page through it, but Barb and I write children's stories and we edit them over and over. I mean, each one gets edited probably 15 times, maybe more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then get the story written the way we're pretty sure we want it. Then we go through and figure out what this illustration needs to be right here in this little chapter. What illustration needs to be there, and then we figure out that and what needs to be in each illustration, and then we draw them out. Then we begin to paint them, and we are constantly working on one book or another. Just going. The little pieces we just put up there, little illustrations. They're not very big. They're small. You can see how small it's like 6 by 8, and we write, illustrate, and publish ourselves through
Amazon
Kindle on Amazon. They will publish on demand. You can order. We usually order 20 to start with. Then we sell them here. Barb takes the books to the farmers markets, open air markets and things. She does that. I don't do it, but she's very good at it and sells them that way in here. And that's the only place really you can get them.
Or on Amazon too.
On Amazon you can, sure. But you have to be found on Amazon. We're at the bottom of the list. I'll put my hand up here and go like that. And we're way down here on the bottom of the list because people don't know us and they put you easier to find, easier on the list. If you put children's books in, it pops up something that's selling, nationwide, worldwide, whatever. That comes up first and then everything down. And since we only sell them here at the gallery and on Amazon, we don't sell very many of them, but we're sure producing a lot of them. Eventually, we'll have to figure out a way to market them too. It's a nightmare trying to keep going, but it's important to create. I thoroughly believe that creating is more important than marketing. So we just keep creating and creating every day. When we get done talking here with the Zoom call, we'll be painting. illustrations.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Carol, what'd you have?
The question, well, two things. Number one, Kim, somebody led me to an idea of a lady that builds up photographs that she created for her illustrations. So she actually was a photo-based author for children's books. And I think Dandelion in black and white in a digitized form would be ideal anyway. So I think Dandelion in her own real raw form would be really good. And I guess could the Aaron and them, could you repeat who you publish through?
It's Amazon Kindle.
Okay. Yeah, it used to be KPM.
KDP.
Yeah.
It was K. it-
Right.
Create-
Used to be somebody else and they bought it up and to do. Okay.
Yeah, we started with Create Space and then it went to KDP.
That's right. Right. Yeah, I did. I published 116 when it was Create Space. And so but the name change always throws me. So correct.
Oh, wow.
Here's one of the illustrations that, like a illustration of my photo that's just been,
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
so that's just been through the computer. So the
That's
thing is,
cool.
Aaron and Barb have advantage, because they're painters. Because like one of my stories I'm gonna build up is, Dandelion laying her egg in the chair with the fan blowing on her. Well, I don't have a great photo of that, but a painter can actually paint that. So I'm running into, so some of the things might not be illustrated, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I plan on publishing this summer, no matter what.
Okay.
So that is a goal, and that get that first book out of the way, and then, but. So I appreciate the thumbs up on doing the digital, because I wasn't real sure.
I
That's
love
all-
that.
that's
I
all
love
I
that. It
have.
also ties into your social media. It just ties into you by it being all you. And,
Wow.
and it allows you to just keep telling your real stories versus it being kind of made up illustration. I like it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That makes
Just
me
think of
feel
all the
better.
prints and things you can
I've
do
been
from- Wow.
I've been a little down because it's like, this is something I really want to make work, and, so I appreciate it. There's Allison. She's later than I was.
If she's driving, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She had to get gas.
We better not let her mom know. Her mom.
Yeah, that's
wouldn't
what I
be
was getting ready
happy
to say.
about that.
You don't want mom to know. You have
We
to
can't hear you,
unmute.
Allison. You're muted. But the meeting's just wrapping up.
Okay.
That's sad.
But we've got to see you.
Well, if you think of any additional challenges that come up or whatever, the Best Missouri Members Only page is a great place to post it, or let Kim, Allison, or Patty or I know, and we could work up a workshop around that challenge throughout the year, because that's what we're doing the workshops for, is to help all our artists to succeed at their businesses.
That's why we are here.
Thank you.
I'm so excited about all the projects, and I can't wait to see how everything comes together with the mural. This sounds so exciting. It's
Mhm.
it's
It's-
just awesome.
We called it a community-wide, statewide art event where communities get together, and then we go to another community and another, and the people who are there paint, and they all were allowed to paint for free. We were able to manage that some way. I insisted that no one be turned away. So we have a lot of information on it.
That's how it starts, especially with kids and things. That's how I started with doing things when I was young. I've been painting since I can remember, but things like that is what builds a child's thoughts. So then in turn, they end up being, oh, well, hopefully not as crazy as me, but they end up being artists when they get older, and that's you're putting those seeds in, and that's so. Thank you.
Yeah, we've had, I don't know how many, we didn't keep track individually, but Barb and I have handed paintbrushes to people who are truck drivers and clergy and babies and old people in wheelchairs. And I don't know of any other artists who managed to do that. To me, it's an unbelievable feat. So there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all walks of life. And if you didn't get the paint on it, that's unfortunate. We would like everybody to, but 16,000 people is a ton of people.
Well, and like Wanda said, Aaron, reach out to her or me or Allison or Patty or whatever. And when your mural's up in the Truman Building, and we'll set up a Zoom workshop to showcase and talk about it and stuff. And that goes with everybody else on here, like Garnetta.
Right.
If you want to do a tour of the gallery sometime, we'd be happy. We can do a Zoom meeting. You can walk around the gallery, and because for one, you've got a ton of Best of Missouri Hands artists in there. And so, you could be able to showcase the different artists and stuff, and that you do framing and the other things you offer. So, and same with Lois and Allison and Carol, that you guys, if you want to do a studio tour or something, let us know. We'll set up a thing. There might not be that many people on the actual live event, but it'll be recorded and it'll go on our YouTube channel and live there forever. So, don't hesitate. We've got the technology now. We
You
can
just have to unmute.
Garnett,
You had to unmute.
Okay, because I've had to get up and down, I have a question about the people with the mural that's going to be in the Truman Building. Did anybody suggest they contact the Department of Tourism with the state?
They should know about it. Our lady here in Cape, we took a replica to them, and she had somebody with the tourism to do an article about Cape visit. That mural was going to be in it too.
Okay. Shoot, I'd contact places like KCTV5 in Kansas City and let them know about the number of artists that touched that. So
Yeah. Channel 4 in Kansas City, I think, is both KCTV5 and Channel 4 do a lot of local interest and around the state interest, so they might be more receptive.
Okay.
Well, and there's the PBS station that's in Warrensburg. I can't remember what their
KMOS.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know they have the program that's making about, Missouri artisans, and they featured some Best of Missouri Hands, but, that might be something, even you reach out to them and, just tell them, who you're part of and what, they might want to feature you on some program or, fit you into their scheduling.
Is that the one that had you, Patty?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And how about the one who does almost the HEC? What's it? The HEC TV? I'm just throwing them out too, because I'm thinking they did it for the art fairs, but they do all the art community type things. Would that be something you think, Kim? That is it HEC TV?
HEC. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a lot of art interest. And I post their article, their things on the Facebook page all the time and stuff too. So there's a lot of different good contacts out there.
How many different artists touched that? How many were involved? Yeah.
16,116 people painted on it.
I think it would be wonderful to build a Facebook and an Instagram and talk about the 16,000 hands.
Right.
And if you were one of them, sign your name here, you know, something like that, that would get all of those involved and they would share that.
We kept journals on everybody. That's how we know how many painted, is because we kept the journal every time somebody, we would keep their name, their age, their job, and their hometown. And those 4 things
But,
only.
you know, just naming it 16,000 hands, you know, I just think that would be so awesome. I just think people would pick up on that make it a huge community.
Hashtag, great hashtag.
There's
Doing
some,
a campaign.
Garnetta really hit that on the head. You guys should start an Instagram page, just like Humans of New York and Humans of St. Louis and stuff. You could do a post a day. You could just, you know, you put that picture up there, you put their name, maybe you don't put their last name if you don't have their approval, you just put Kim C or whatever, and put what town, put the information you gathered, and that's your post, and do your hashtags. If you kept doing that every day, you know,
For
before you
16,000
know it.
days.
Right, yeah. But then if you're really gonna need the help, that's when, like, going to Best of Missouri Hands and maybe doing it on the member page, who can help you? Because like you said, if that's, you know, something that's gonna be, you know, a lot of additional, maybe this is where you start pulling in the community. I noticed that a lot of people have said, I don't like social media, and they said, and you know, always the question, do you have a niece? You have a nephew? Do you have a, you know, do you have anybody who's in the art, you know, anybody can intern, somebody who loves social media, they TikTok until their heads fall off. But you know, it's like, you know, pulling those, you know, pull those people, and then A, they're learning community, B, they're learning, you know, to be able to talk with, you know, folks. They're learning about the arts, and they're learning how to pull that together, and they're doing it through a media that they know. So maybe it might not be your forte, but it might be their forte. And now you're pulling that together, and you're still pulling out the, like you just said, Garnetta, the 16,000, you know, I mean, that
Yeah.
could just work. And a lot of kids, like what's up, some of the high schools, they have, oh, I know that Queenie always has it, that people will volunteer and donate time, and then they get certain points for their schooling, especially seniors and juniors, for when they're going into college. Some of those times they say, well, I get so many points because I did this. I just think there's a lot of options that can help, where it won't have to be put right onto you, but this might be something that it'll just blow up, and it helps everybody, which is what you guys are doing already.
One thing I would like to say, we think, look it up, 16,116 people painted a large mural in Missouri. We've looked up in the Guinness Book of World Records and cannot find any art event that challenges that, really. And we're having no luck whatsoever trying to get a hold of the Guinness people to let them know what's happened. And we get robo answers whenever we send a message to them, and same thing with a phone call, you know.
Can't call them, don't have a number.
It's impossible. We're beside ourselves as to how to get a hold of the Guinness people to let them either know to accept this or deny it. Either way, if anybody in the Best of Missouri Hands knows how to do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Because I think it's not for me. I say this all the time. It's not for me, and it's not for Barb. It's for all those people in Missouri. It's a Missouri thing. Missouri should be proud of what's happened here and what they created. We couldn't have done this. If Barb and I had painted this mural and then put it up, it wouldn't have the
Same impact.
the fantastic impact that it has because of all the people doing it. And it was a 2-inch right triangle that each individual person got to paint, which is amazing, you know, and it looks great. It's awesome. So if anybody knows how to get a hold of Guinness people, that be awesome if somebody could figure that out. And I know they have representatives.
You might want to post that on the Best Missouri Hands member only page, and any of the things that you're needing, like Allison said, reach out to our community. So you post it, and that way you get the feedback to you instead of going through a middle person. And you know, you never know, like Allison said, what kind of help you might find or information. And so put it out there.
We're trying.
I found, I just posted a link where you can submit to apply in the chat. There's an online submission process, so I think you need to go through there.
Yes, we've done that before.
Oh, yeah, it says 12 weeks to reply,
Yes, yes.
and you didn't get anything from it?
This was for a previous project. We didn't know what would happen when we started this project, and now it's over, so.
Whenever they say you need to apply and fill out these forms and so forth, they want your estimated time of your event. They want a judge to be there and judge it and all. And I think everybody here on this Zoom call can understand that that's impossible for an event like this. When we're traveling every week for a long time, every weekend, pretty much, we would be traveling someplace to meet people to paint on this, and to have a judge there. This is not your hot dog eating contest type of an event, of a record. This is like building a mountain or the longest river in the world. You know, it was created over time. It's a different kind of. We need to talk to somebody in person, really.
And judges aren't free. You have to pay for the judges.
So. There she is.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. As it's been said already, you know, feel free to utilize our Facebook Best of Missouri Hands member page, and, you know, continue to post challenges, and you will for sure get the support of this organization, because we really are a great group of artists here. So thanks so much to Allison, Wanda, and Kim for organizing this and just continuing to offer this great Zoom online support. So thanks so much. Any other closing remarks?
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we think the Best of Missouri Hands is a great organization. It's probably the best one I belong to.
You guys got good members. See everybody. Hi.
Oh, Allison, stop recording.
Recording.